So this is Ethan. He's way better looking than Mike. Mike can't hear, so he didn't just hear me say that. So I met Ethan. Tell him where we met.
We met in 2006 at the Mendenhall Auction School.
Met Ethan in the Huda Bit Abada.
I think it was October, maybe November.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do remember this, though. When I left Mebane, because that's where I was like born and raised in the antiques, right? John goes, Matt, you will never auction here if you don't win one of the awards.
And you did.
Do you remember how many I won?
I don't remember how many. I know you won one.
I won both of them. And do you remember who ran?
You couldn't have won both of them
No,
because I won one.
There were three.
So I won the third one?
Yeah.
Look at us.
So right here, we won all three awards.
What were the other two?
Best all around and most likely to succeed.
Oh, okay.
I got both of them.
Yeah.
They said it was the first time in history that's ever happened in 30 years of auction schools.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And I got most improved. I went from a 0 to a 2.
You listen. Well, this is how it happens. So I remember this like it was yesterday. So you walk in and everybody's in line. You checked into a table. You got their cassette recorder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next table, there was a man sitting there, one of the instructors. Do you remember what we sold? There was a little item there that we had to sell.
Like a little statue or something.
It was a 3-legged pig.
Okay.
You remember that?
Oh,
now that I say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good
there was
memory on you.
Dude, I remember this like it was yesterday. There was a 3-legged pig. And so you're sitting in line and there were 60 people at this school. So I didn't know Ethan, never knew he existed. So I'm in line and I hear somebody like between us 10 feet away bid calling. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? We have to bid call right now in front of everybody. Do you remember that feeling?
I do remember it. I was like, I'm going to be terrible.
Dude, I mean, people started crying. It was so bad. Like day one of auction school, minute one.
People are already crying.
Dude, I remember getting in front of this guy and I remember going, I'll write it down the 3-legged pig. What about 10, 15? Now I got to 20. In my arms, it was like I had something wrong. My arms just went up naturally. And I was like, where did that come from? I didn't know I could do that, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
So that day, the same day, they want to introduce you to a microphone. So they made everybody get up. So you and your brother sat on the same row and we got up and y'all were first and you said, hey, I'm Ethan. I'm from Burlington. And I get the mic. I go, hey, I'm Matt. I'm from Elon. Hey. And then it was on after that, baby.
Yep. We started carpooling. I started teaching y'all how to bid call. Yep. Never stuck. And I know it disappointed you.
Well, here's the trick on that. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I might bid call better than you, but your sales records are much better than mine.
That's just luck.
We're going to get into that
in
a little bit. But so that brings me to a point. You don't need to know how to bid call to run a good auction house.
No, you don't.
You don't need to know how to bid call to sell a very, very valuable item. The bid calling, in short, and I'm not trying to bust myself out of some learned chance here, but the bid calling is a facade. It's a magical thing that you may or may not have, and if you don't have it, it does not mean that you can't open an auction house and get the job done.
Right. Well, I think it matters what your format is.
True.
If you're a live auction or if you're a phone auction or an internet auction. They don't have phone auctions anymore, I don't believe.
And so why were you at auction school? Tell me about that.
So Ryan and I went to auction school to get our license because we were having our sales were starting to increase so much, and we didn't know that we needed to be licensed. So that's why we decided we would go so we could get licensed. So if anybody became aware of us, we would be licensed to be able to carry on auctions.
So you guys were, back then, you were Rainer's HCA, is that right?
Right, historical collectible auctions.
Yeah, and you specialized in historical documents, and the term is ephemera.
Yeah, historical documents, manuscripts, ephemera.
So what is ephemera actually?
Ephemera is just paper items that are related to any activity. So it could be a catalog, it could be a ticket, it could be a broadside.
So broadside, let's talk about that because you are the one that actually taught me what a broadside was.
Right.
And in layman's terms, a broadside is when today, if you walk out to a telephone pole and you see an advertisement for a concert, that's a broadside.
It's a broadside.
Well, back in 1880, if Billy the Kid was wanted, that would be an original Billy the Kid broadside.
Right.
And it'd be very valuable.
Right. So what we call posters or broadsides back then.
Yeah. But the term broadside was very new to me. I'd been in the antique business all my life, and I had never heard the word broadside.
Yeah. Well, you probably didn't see much paper come through, you know.
No, we got tons of paper.
Okay.
And we gave tons. That's where Barry came in, bro. Barry came to the auction house because dumb pickers like us, we would put all the paper under the, who wants to sell paper, bro? We're trying to sell pottery.
Yep.
We'd put all the paper under the table in a box light. Barry would go through it. He'd buy it for $10, and there'd be slave documents, original broadsides from the Kentucky Raiders.
Yeah.
I had one of those once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, we'll get into that story.
Okay.
Yeah. Wes Cowan sold it. That's before I knew you, bro.
Yeah. It's all right.
You sure?
Yeah.
So this is how I meet Wes. I'm on him picking. Me and Adam are picking. Hard. I mean, when I say hardcore picking, I'm talking about this is my only job. This is what I was when I met you. I was a picker.
Mm-hmm.
And we woke up on Monday. We'd be in York, Pennsylvania by 2 p.m. on Monday, which means we met at the auction at 5. I drove 1 week. He drove one week. This went on for 2 years. So we met at Mebane, ended up in York, Pennsylvania. We stayed at the same hotel room, and we worked about an hour. So one day, Adam says, we leave the hotel. Adam says, I forgot my pillow. I guess it was a Thursday. We were on our way back. So we got 10 minutes down the road. He goes, I forgot my pillow. I was like, shit, go back. So he goes back to the hotel. Now it's about 9 o'clock. It's time to start door knocking. We were going to a different destination. I go, Adam, take a right. Don't go back to the interstate. It's 9 o'clock. Let's knock on some of these doors. Dude, there's this lady out in her driveway. I give her the spiel. I'm Matt Ledbetter. I'm here to buy anything old. I live in North Carolina. I'm only up here today. Do you have anything? She's like, yeah, I think I do. I was going to give this to a museum, but why don't you come inside? So I'm sitting down at the kitchen table. I'll never forget it. She brings me this box, this rectangle box full of paper. I start going through it. And it's what I know now is I had muster rolls from the American Indian Wars.
Nice.
That's what Wes called it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a broadside for the call of the Kentucky Raiders. Am I saying that right? The Kentucky Raiders?
Yes.
Okay. So we get all this paper. She's like, I was just going to donate it to a museum. I was like, well, I'll pay I didn't know what it was then. I said, I'll pay $200 for it. She said, yeah, take it. That's fine with me. I thought the best things in there were stamps. I was like kind of into stamps. Mm-hmm. So I get it in the truck. Adam don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but we know enough probably not to just dump it down at Mebane, right?
Right.
So the next week, we're like, let's take it to Cowan's auction. And dude, this is in 2005-ish. This dude was right at the street. So we just didn't know each other.
Yeah.
So we drove all the way to Ohio on a picking trip. We knocked doors for a couple of days. We got this huge, this pickup truck days. We didn't have vans. We got this huge pickup truck full of furniture. I mean, just crap, right? Basically, but sellable stuff at an auction. So we pull up to Cowan's auction. Dude opens the door. No, we don't sell that kind of thing here. I'm like, whoa, bro, hold on. I know that. I'm from North Carolina. This is all the stuff we're taking back.
Right.
I want you to look at some paper documents. And he goes, oh, okay, yeah. What do you got? I was like, I have no idea. That's why we drove all the way up here. I want you to look at them. So he takes us back to this room. It's like an observatory. Like he's got these huge tables. I had never seen this before. Mebane wasn't like this. Mm-hmm. He puts them down. The room is well lit. He starts going through it. He goes, hold on 1 second. He goes and gets Wes Cowan. Wes is tall. Wes walks up. He goes, so now he starts picking us. Tell me what you want to do here, gentlemen. Just tell me what you want to do here. I want you to sell these for as much money as you can, my guy.
Right.
And he goes, okay, I got you. He's like, how'd you get these? I was like, bro, we're pickers. Don't go through all that. I'm a picker. That's how I got them. He's like, well, yeah. So Wes Cowan is sitting there going through these. Now, I don't know if there was 100 of these. I don't know if there was 10 of these. I don't know how many there were. But he picks a little thin piece of paper up. I'm talking about there's hundreds of pieces of paper here. He picks a thin piece of paper up. He goes, man, now I'd like to own this. And then I seen a switch go off. Now he went back into auctioneer mode. This is going to do really good for you guys. And I don't even care what it is. I'm like, oh, that's great. We had this pocket watch that was like that thin.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said, I don't know because I'm not a watch guy, but this could be a $20,000 watch.
True.
And I was like, what in the world would make it a 20,000? He said, look how thin it is. That entire movement has to be inside that watch. This is going to be a really good watch. We just have to let our watch guy look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So we signed contracts. We left the paper with them. The broadside, the Kentucky brought 4,700.
Nice.
And the other articles brought thousands and thousands. It was a great thing. And so Wes, at the end of it, he's like, let me show you around. So he takes us out of that building into another building. And I swear it was 200 military rifles in there, like old 18, like Civil War. I mean, it was incredible. And he was already on the Antique Roadshow. So he was already another level than what I had ever seen.
See, I started buying ahead of his auction before he got there. So I used to buy from him and resell.
Right.
Yeah.
With him?
No. I'd buy from his auction, then resell through our auction.
Yeah, right. Because you had, so he would sell everything.
The same market. You know?
He would sell Americana, which included paper, but you just had the paper.
Yep.
So you'd buy out of his and resell it.
Yep.
One of the things that I remember from auction school, now we're there with 60 people, and evidently the word started, most of these people knew nothing about auctions.
Mm-hmm.
They were just trying to get into it. Well, evidently the word circulated with the management of this school that you guys already had an auction and a very successful auction. And I remember them putting you guys up there on the microphone to talk about your auction.
Yeah. And
one of the things you had just done was sell the 13th Amendment for 1.8 million.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And if you look up the record on that, that's higher than Christie's. Christie's sold one for like 900,000.
Yeah.
And so here you got Rainer's HCA behind Cox Toyota in Burlington selling a document for $1.8 million. I mean, that is like,
that was awesome.
That's the auction dream right there.
Awesome. Yeah.
If you're in the business of auctioneering and you're used to selling 9 hours of selling and you gross, $27,000, your dream is to hit that one piece that's in that million. That's what you want. And you guys did that.
We did.
What was that like?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Good for the business.
Oh, it was great for the business, but it was just really, really nice to be able to see something like that, to be able to move something like that.
Now, do you know, has one been sold on the open market like that since at auction?
I don't recall. And
so that's been 2006. That we're pushing 20 years.
Yeah, it's going on 20 years. Long time.
And possibly that's the only one in the last 20 years.
I don't know. And I don't know if that one resold or not. I know that we had a buyer who was a professional broker who would, represent museums and other collectors.
Right.
Because a lot of times, like the big collectors, either they don't want to deal with calling an auction house and bidding.
Right. They don't have time for that.
Yeah. Or they don't want their name known to be connected to the item, because then.
Well, yeah. If a guy spends $1 million with you, you're thinking, wow, this guy's got deep pockets, so I'm going to bug him all the time when I get something good. They just don't want to be known.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
that makes sense.
And they don't want a competitor bidder to know that they were the one doing it.
They don't want their name associated.
Yep.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Because paper is a small circle.
Oh,
I'm sure it is like pottery too.
Well, it's just like me knowing Barry.
Yeah.
I'd never met you before, but we knew the same people because Barry was a paper guy.
Yep.
And so naturally he's going to know about your auction. And he was good about it. He kept that so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think John knew about Rainer's HCA. I mean, it's not like Barry walked into Mebane, I buy from you and I had 10 times my money at Rainer's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean.
No, Barry's not a talker. Is Barry still alive?
Yeah, I saw him the other day.
Oh, great.
Came in.
So we did some picking together in 2012.
We did.
Yeah. We went to South Jersey.
We almost got in a fight on the way home.
Did we?
Yeah, because we were going to start an auction house.
Oh, man.
Because I got scared. Because we had really good stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this stuff's too good to, we can't fuck around with this. We need to take this to Mebane and sell it. And you were like, butthurt.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't know how we were going to start an auction house. Like, we had nowhere to sell it. We had no space. I thought, we're just gonna put up a tent.
Yeah.
I mean, we both had our auctioneer license. We were like,
we were gonna put up a tent.
Is that what we were gonna do?
Man, I'm so disappointed in you.
I know. And then here we are, Ledbetter folk art. But we're talking about you adding paper to this.
Yeah.
I mean, we just started this talk because you quit your job.
Yeah, I did quit my job.
Did you quit or did you get fired?
I quit.
Yeah, okay. There's a big difference, you know.
There is a big difference, you know. So I mean, to show that I didn't get fired, my assistant director texted me this morning and asked how I was doing, and
read the text.
She was thinking about me.
No, I'm just don't. So
I could do that, but yeah, you know, I was doing case management, and then it's very stressful after a long period of time, and sometimes you need to change.
Yeah, like so 6 months ago, Ethan had no gray hair.
Yeah, right. That's what I tell everybody. I'm a 30-year-old social worker. You know, this is what it does to you. Yeah.
Well, I'm a warlock, so I've been doing this folk art for like 262 years.
Look at you. Yeah, great.
I got a friend that says he's a warlock, so I stole that from him, actually.
Well, I like that.